Hey guys, it's Jack coming at you with the everything you ever wanted to know about double O gauge but was afraid to ask. First off, I'm showing you two figures. The one on the left is a double O figure and the one on the right is a HO figure. Double O is 1/72nd or 1/76. Just like an HO, the scale kind of varies depending on the size of the equipment. Just like an HO, sometimes the cheaper brands will actually scale down a locomotive or rolling stock um, for different sets depending on the price. So I'm showing you the figures right there. Like I said, double O is a little bit, everything's a little bit taller. It's because they couldn't find small enough motors at one point to put in the HO scale stuff, so they made the bodies a little bigger but retained the same track size. Speaking of track, I want to go right into that. Some of the problems you may run into with double O are the older equipment here. This is a Triang double O Mark I coach, I believe. It's a lot shorter than a scale Mark I coach. It probably came in a beginner set. This is probably from the 60s. It's one of my favorites. The only thing, like I said, the best thing if you're going to run Triang, especially anything from the 50s or 60s in double O, is you may want to try to pick up some 50s or 60s double O track. It's the same width as HO, but it's a little bit deeper. It's probably right before they went into the whole Code 100. The old wheels, I don't know if you can see them very well on here, but they're huge. They will just jump on every tie on your track, and if you have an Atlas turnout, they will just fly over them and derail. You could pretty much call them a derailer then, but you have to be very careful when you buy Triang stuff, especially the really old stuff. They don't make it anymore, thank God, because it's just not going to run well. Another thing you can see is the wheels are kind of riveted in there. I can't just say switch out the wheel sets because they're pretty much in there for good. Another thing you can see right here is the rivet too. The wheels were actually riveted to the body, so I had to do some construction and make my own little mounts. These are actually lifelike Amtrak car trucks. I had to refit on here because, like I said, these just didn't work out, and so it was kind of a bummer when I got them through the mail. It was some of the first double O stuff I bought, and I had to, like I said, rework them almost totally and just keep these plastic shells. Another one I bought was this brake van. Same problem, wheels riveted in. So actually, these are off a little Plymouth switcher, most likely. And I had to kind of rework that whole mounting and chassis to put some normal size flange wheels on there. So yeah, so that's my only thing you got to be careful on eBay about buying double O stuff is the real old stuff. The other problem I run into is that Hornby actually made a 3-rail. Again, the older stuff, the wheels are going to be riveted in there or kind of made into the wheel sets, not to be switched out easy. If you don't already know, 3-rail stuff is not, depending again how the wheels are set in there, the wheels aren't isolated from each other. They don't have to be in 3-rail. So if you order a 3-rail or you don't know what you're ordering, when you put it on your track, it's going to short your track out. And so you have to be really careful if it's 3-rail. I know I see all this beautiful Markland stuff, and they did make a 2-rail version, but a lot of it's 3-rail, and I just don't have the money to buy it, and then especially the money on top of that to convert it to 2-rail. So just be careful on what you're buying. That brings me to another point here. Right here, you can see the different couplers. This is your regular Hornby coupler. This is, of course, the old Triang coupler. They're called international couplers, which crack me up because that doesn't apply to anything American. They won't remotely fit anything American. So, but Hornby still uses this kind of large coupler with the hook on it. I'm not a huge fan of them because they're really big and really pretty obnoxious. I mean, they do work well, and the only thing they're trying to prevent is, excuse me, buffer lock. This is my own kind of system of coupling right now. This wire loop and wire hook, and it's kind of based off when you have a tender locomotive. It's not a great coupling system. It does work for right now. It's very non-intrusive compared to right here. They call it the butcher block. Again, it's just so when you take a turn, your couplers, or your buffers, excuse me, don't lock up. Some people will put a bar across them, and they'll actually use this 3-link chain and hook, which is nice. The only problem with the chain and hook is you get real-world physics. If you stop too fast, your brake van's going to come right through the back of your train, and so you don't have that stop that you would be used to using regular knuckle couplers. So you have to be careful with that. So just wanted to show you. I do have other couplers. Those are Fleischmann couplers. And then this is a French train, actually. This is called Julf, or Julf. And they have a kind of a hooped coupler too, but it's different than the British ones yet. So you gotta look at those couplers. Like I said, I use these wire ones right now. I don't use the standard ones like these, just because the problem is with them being sprung. I'm running over my people. These cars are so short that the spring will actually work against them and pop them right off the tracks. Because, I mean, these are really, as you can see with the HO person, these are really short cars, and they're only 2-axle. So, like I said, they're pretty easy to pop off the track. I think I'm going to eventually just go to an N-scale coupling of some sort. That leads me, this is a 00 locomotive. They call it a Pug. One of my favorites. These ones are funny. They're great runners. They're funny because Hornby also owns Scale Electric, which is a slot car company, and they actually put slot car motors in these little Pugs. So they're really fast, not a lot of pulling power. A lot of British guys don't like them because of that. That they just they move too fast for scale. But this is pretty much a starter set locomotive. I've actually modified it with a horn hook coupler, because all my stuff's horn hook, and I actually put epoxied a little point there so it can actually pull my regular stuff with horn hooks and pull these coaches with the loop on them. So, like I said, that's why I use horn hooks. But like I said, I have a lot more 00, and I just didn't bring it up here tonight. I just wanted to show you some examples, but like I said, I'm wrapping up this video at 10 minutes here, but I just wanted to go over some very basic stuff with you. Again, the wheels on these old Hornby locomotives, you can see the flanges are quite big. You may have to etch out your frog just a little bit to get that to go through on your turnouts. So, but really enjoy Hornby. Any new Hornby, any new Bachmann isn't going to have any problems through your turnouts. The flanges are quite small. So I'm going to leave it with, let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see anything else. This is an intercity car. This goes to my high-speed train. This is one of the longest cars I have. Again, you can see compared to an HO person how long it is, but takes my 18-inch radius curves with no problem. So, like I said, that's the one thing I do love about 00. It does not matter. So, okay, leave any comments, subscribe, or let me know if you want to see anything else in 00 or have any questions, run by me, or any tips or anything you've found. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and hope to talk to you later.